Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to this Warhammer 40,000 battle report. Today it is a battle of cheese. Eldar versus Space Marines. I'm playing off against a Gladius strike force that Josh has put together, and he's facing the Eldar today. This is the planet. The game mat is from urbanmats.com, supplied by Martin. Please go and check them out, some great battle mats, and check out the product review video for it as well. So today's mission is the Spoils of War, where you can steal the objective number cards. So we've got this lush world that the Eldar have inhabited, and the Space Marines are coming to drive them away. We've got objective marker number 1, number 2, number 3 is over this way, and 4 hiding there, number 5, and number 6 is over here. So we don't know who is going first, we don't know who is deploying which side. Let's have a look at the armies. Right, so this is the Eldar force today. Leading the force we have a Farseer on bike with Singing Spear and his psychic powers. I took 1 on telepathy and 2 on Runes of Fate. Runes of Fate I got Fortune and Mind War. I dropped Mind War to take Guide, and I rolled 1 on telepathy, fishing for invisibility, but I didn't get it. I got Dominate, so I've elected to drop that for Psychic Shriek. Troops choices, we have 2 squads of 3 jet bikers, all of them equipped with Shuriken cannons. In the fast slot we have a unit of 6 swooping hawks. In, I think, also an elite slot we have Howling Banshees. They're upgraded with an Exarch, and the Exarch has an Executioner. The Hawks also have an Exarch as well. Further elites we have D-Scythe Wraithguard, Fast Attack, Crimson Hunter Exarch, and of course the Lord of War, the Wraith Knight with the sword and shield. What? Broken. Yeah, just a bit. But when you see what I'm facing, you'll understand why. We've then got an aspect formation of 5 Fire Dragons with an Exarch, 5 Dark Reapers with an Exarch, and they've all got Starshot missiles, and 5 Warp Spiders with an Exarch. Exarch has a Spinneret rifle. We've then got a reasonably small Dark Eldar allied detachment. I'll say allied detachment, a Real Space Raiders detachment. So leading this one, the HQ choice is the Succubus with an Archite Glaive and Armour of Misery, and Haywire Grenades, as I had 5 points left over. We have 5 Kabalite Warriors with a Blaster riding in a dual Splinter Cannon Venom as their dedicated transport. We have 10 Kabalite Warriors, 1 equipped with a Splinter Cannon, riding in a dedicated transport Raider with Splinter Axe and of course Night Shields. For fast attack, we've then got the 5 Scourge with 4 Haywire Blasters. We've got an Empty Venom with dual Splinter Cannons. We've then got 3 Empty Raiders with Night Shields. And of course we have the Razor Wing, totally standard. It does have the Splinter Rifle, not the cannon that it has there. It's got 2 of the Strength 6 Shred missiles and 2 of the Fleshbane ones as well. So that is it for the force. Let's have a look at Josh's Space Marines. Right, so here we go. Josh is using the Blood Angels, and there is going to be a few marks with Dave for models, and you'll see why he talks through. Still looks pretty good though. So Josh, you want to talk through what you've got?
Can do. I'm trying out the Iron Rain double demi company list.
At me insisting on it as well.
Yeah, I only had 3 drop pods. Harry asked for this. I don't know. On the right we have Demi Company 1, led by the Warlord, Captain. Totally not Dante, but whatever. He is accompanied by the Assault Marines. Devastators up there, all boulders in a Razorback. 3 Tactical Marines in pods with plasma guns. Ironclad Dreadnought, Heavy Flamer Melter Gun, Ironclad Assault Launchers in a pod. Supporting him is the other demi company, led by a chaplain. Again, not Lamartas, but whatever. This Devastator squad has got 4 las cannons, Mark of Dave. They've also purchased a Razorback, same setup over there, twin-inch assault cannon, Dozer Blade. Fast attack in this one is a bike squad with 2 grav guns and a multi-melter attack bike. Then in troops we have 2 units of 5-man tacticals with las cannons. Again, Mark of Dave on the heavy weapons. Third squad has a flamer, which is something I wouldn't normally take. And then we have a normal dreadnought with heavy flamer assault cannon in the 7th pod. Necessary auxiliary for Gladius Strike Force is an armoured task force in this one. We have a Tech Marine as seen, servo harness, nothing else. 2 Vindicators, both with siege shields, and a Predator Annihilator, twin las cannon, sponsons, as is the norm. And to back up the entire double demi company, because I'm somewhat lacking air defense, I have this very small allied detachment, led by a librarian, again not Mephiston. Rolled on divination, got recognition, which I didn't really want, but prescience is good. There is a tactical squad here with a las cannon, and as you can see, the big beastie itself that is the Fire Raptor. Right, so Warlord is captain, as I said. His Warlord trait is to draw +1 objective, which is quite good. War gear wise, Artificer armor, plasma pistol, jump pack, melter bombs, digital weapons for once, and I've decided to try out the burning blade. It's more expensive than what I would normally take, but I've heard many good things about it, so I'm hoping it'll do reasonably well.
Right, so welcome back after deployment. Josh won the roll-off and he's elected to choose for me to go first and deploy. So, over here we've got a Raider with the Wraith Guard in, 1 squad of bikes, 2 squad of bike with the Farseer attached. We've got a Venom there with the Dark Reapers in it, and of course the Wraith Knight. And over this side on the flank we've got the Spiders. Josh's counter deployment is the Devastator Marines with the Librarian from the Allied detachment on this side. Got 1 of the Vindicators, the Razorback with the 5 bolter Devastators in there, 1 tac squad in the trees, bike squad, and another Vindicator in the centre. Moving round, got the Assault Marines with the Josh didn't. Chaplain. Yeah, he didn't point out either that the sergeant has the Eviscerator, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. And then we've got the captain and the chaplain attached to them. Attack squad with las cannon.
Las cannon in the trees. Plasma squad. Another assault cannon Razorback. Dozer Blade. Then we have the other tactical squad with the las cannon, Predator, triple las cannon, and then Rhino.
The Rhino's empty, yeah?
Yeah, Rhino.
So in reserve, he's got both the Dreadnoughts in a pod. Is that the Tech Marine and the Tactical Squad?
No, the Tech Marine is attached to the Devastators down here.
No problem, so both the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, my turn 1 drop, you're looking at the 2 Dreadnoughts in pods, Flamer Tactical Squad in a pod, and 1 Plasma Squad in a pod.
And then 3 empty pods and the Fire Raptor.
Are in turn 2 reserve, yes.
Nice, so, do you want to seize, Josh?
I want to try. Nope.
Nope, I get 2 turns. Right, so Eldar turn 1, I have drew Psychological Warfare, Secure Objective 4, and Kane's Wrath make a charge. And the Dice Gods hate me. This Raider immobilised itself. The Venom here with the Dark Reapers in, immobilised itself. So, yeah, half my game plan totally gone out the window in turn 1. The Bikers, however, one of them passed his dangerous terrain check, so he was fine. The Wraith Knight pushing forward, looking to try and grab objective 4 in the centre. The spiders, I decided to leave where they were, as there's a Devastator squad there along with that Vindicator. So that's it for movement. Let's move on to Psychic. Right, so in the Psychic phase, I cast Guide on these and Fortune on the Wraith Knight. Moving into the shooting phase, the Disintegrator Cannon and the Shuriken Bikers that were guided managed to take out the attack bike and 2 of the bikers there. Unfortunately, the 2 that are left are the Grav. Josh did, however, pass his leadership test. I was hoping to possibly get psychological warfare then as well. And the Wraith Knight has ran forward. I've had to place him that way for balance, but he is going to secure objective 4. So, that is it. I score objective 4. And I'm good.
Objective 5.
What?
That's objective 5. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so that isn't objective 4. That's objective 5. So I don't actually score any points at all. I can't discard objective 4. And yeah, I wouldn't have run the Wraith Knight that far forward. That's what you get. I'm going to discard psychological warfare. Right, Josh gets to draw 4 cards for his turn 1. He's got 4 the Emperor, which is make a charge. He's got overwhelming firepower, domination, and ascendancy. Well, he's going to get ascendancy and domination because he's on 1 there. He's going to move forward and get that one. He's on 1 here. One of the Dreadnoughts has dropped in a pod and got a direct hit to secure that one. The Attack Marines are securing this one. Over here, the other Dreadnought is securing that one. And his 4th pod that arrived did scatter backwards, looking to probably take on the bikers there as well. So that was just the reserves. We'll now move on to Space Marines movement. Right, so in the movement phase, the Vindicator and the Razorback have just shuffled sideways, looking probably to start shooting over this way. Assault Marines and these Tactical Marines pushing forward, probably to start eating into wounds on the Wraith Knight. Grav Bikers have also pushed forward. The only other thing that happened is the Tactical Squad jumped in the Razorback and they moved forward 12 inches. So we have done the Psychic phase as well. Josh tried to cast Prescience on the Dev Squad here. He only got it off on 1 and I managed to stop it. So we'll now move on to the shooting phase. Right, so in the shooting phase, all the las cannons here. That las cannon, the Grav Bikers, the plasma pistol from the captain, that las cannon, that plasma gun, the plasma gunner here that killed himself.
And the las cannon over here.
Yep, the las cannon over there and the las pred took 3 wounds off the Wraith Knight. He had Fortune on, so he was re-rolling his saves and then he's feeling no pains. So yeah, he's still alive, but may not last the combat, we'll have to see. So yeah, that plasma gunner blew himself up. The red Vindicator there could just about get a shot in on the Raider, and auto pen failed me cover save, and then Josh rolled and immobilized. It was already immobilized, so it took its last 2 hull points off its scoring in first blood, and the Wraith Guard jumped out on that side. The only other thing that happened is the Flamer and the bolt guns rapid fired at these bikers. Didn't cause any casualties, but the Stormbolter from the drop pod did. And they, however, did pass their leadership test. So that is it for the shooting phase. Right, what an assault phase that was. The captain, the chaplain and the assault marines all charged in. The Wraith Knight and the captain went at the same time. Despite the captain getting rerolls to hit because of the chaplain, he did inflict a few wounds, but Fortune and Feel No Pain managed to save them on the Wraith Knight. The chaplain hit as well, and despite getting 2 wounds, the Wraith Knight passed his 3-up rerollable save. The Ghost Glaive Sword got 4 hits and cut down 3 of the Marines. The Lonely Marine that was left threw a crack grenade at him and unfortunately didn't wound. And then the Eviscerator took a swing, got 2 wounds, and the Wraith Knight passed his 5-up rerollable invuln, and then he stamped all over everything. I got 3 stomps, put the first one straight on top of the captain and the chaplain, and the Assault Marine, I managed to roll a 1. The second one, however, I managed to roll a 6, so that instantly removed them, scoring me Slay the Warlord. And the last guy, I got a strength 6 stomp on. Unfortunately, Josh failed his 3-up save, and his 6-up feel no pain. So the Wraith Knight is still alive. He's on 3 wounds.
Needs to take a blind test.
He does actually, and he's charging forward. Let's see if he passes that blind test. Don't roll a 6. 2. He's fine. So let's have a look at Josh's cards. Right, so Josh scores overwhelming firepower for destroying the Raider. He gets 4 of the Emperor for making a charge, and he gets Ascendancy for controlling 3. He does not get Domination because the Wraith Knight made it out of combat. So he has 1, 2, 3 for First Blood plus Ascendancy. 4 points to my 1. Yeah. So Eldar, turn 2. Right, so at the start of Eldar turn 2, Josh actually stole my secure objective 4. So I draw 2 cards, which is Hungry for Glory, Ascendancy, and Kane's Wrath. I've done all my reserves. The only things that came on, the Fire Dragons in their Raider, deep struck straight in front of the Vindicator. The Razor Wing is looking to get a beat in on the Devastators. The Poison Boat landed, and the Venom with the Blaster Born in landed, but unfortunately rolled a 1 for the dangerous terrain. I did, however, pass the Holofield save, so although he's immobilised, he didn't lose the whole point. So hopefully we can take those Marines out there. Let's go on to the movement. Right, so we've done the movement. The bikers here in the Farseer are going to be charging in at this squad, which will get me make a charge, as well as Hungry for Glory, because I will be issuing a challenge to the Sergeant. The Reapers have jumped up to the top of the ruins, and the Spiders are pulling round to hopefully take the Dreadnought out there. Over this side, the Wraith Guard looking to hopefully get rid of this pod and a Marine or 2 there. These bikers pulled sideways. Can't take out the side armour of this guy, but might be able to get rid of the Rhino for lack of a better target at the moment. Wraith Knight has moved forward ever so slightly. I've kept him within 24 inches of the Farseer as I want to try and get Fortune off again. But yeah, that's it. Let's move on to Psychic and Shooting phase. Right, so what a turn for the Eldar. They're starting to punch back. The Farseer cast Fortune on the Wraith Knight. I got it off 3 times. Anyway, Josh didn't stop it, unfortunately. I then cast Guide on the Dark Reapers up here, and then tried to cast Psychic Shriek with my last dice on these, and unfortunately didn't get that one off. So the Scat Bikers there, Scat Bikers, Shuriken Bikers, shot in and got 1 rend and a couple of wounds. Josh passed all of his saves but failed his Feel No Pain on the rend. These Shuriken Bikers managed to get 1 pen on the Rhino and immobilised it, so that's not going anywhere for the moment. The Wraith here killed 1 of the Marines and got rid of the pod, so that wasn't too bad. The Spiders went through the back of the Dreadnought. It didn't explode though. The Fire Dragons in the Raider managed to explode the Razorback, the Vindicator, but didn't explode far enough to kill any guys. The Disintegrator Cannon from the Raider managed to kill 1 of them. No, it didn't.
Fight the bike.
It did indeed. It killed a biker, and the Dark Reapers took out 3 of the Marines here. I like to use a strength 5 missile, and Josh actually passed 3 of his 6-up Feel No Pains and a few cover saves as well. So 2 of them lived. They did fail the leadership check and they ran back slightly. These guys here lend their support along with everything in the Venom, and only killed 3 of the Marines there, and actually they need a leadership check as well. Did they pass?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're fine. So yeah, there's a lot of Marines being cut down. Unfortunately, 3 from all the Twin Link poison shots here, and the poison shots in the blaster from the guys in the Venom there. Meanwhile, unit of the turn, Razor Wing. 2 direct hits with the Fleshbane missiles, and quite a lot of wounds with the Shred. managed to take out the 5 Devastators. The Librarian is still standing on 2 wounds though, and he passed his morale check as well. So that is it for the shooting phase. We'll now move on to the assaults. Right, so in the challenge over here, the Farseer managed to cut down the Sergeant, and the bikers also hit back and unfortunately didn't do any wounds. Farseer, one of his wounds actually spilled over as well. 2 Marines, however, stood their ground. The Wraithguard here tried to charge. They needed a 10-inch charge through the rocks and unfortunately rolled a 9, so they didn't make it. And as expected, the Wraith Knight got in the 3-inch charge of the Vindicator and managed to wreck it. So let's have a look at the points. Right, so Kane's Wrath, I only managed to make 2 charges, so I score 1 point for that. Hungry for Glory, I issued a challenge. And Ascendancy, I don't have. I've only got 2 objective markers. So that puts my score at, what is it, 3?
3, yeah.
To Josh's 5, because he stole my objective 4. So I'm going to keep hold of Ascendancy because I reckon I can probably get it next turn. Yeah. Right, so Space Marine turn 2. Josh has drew secure objective 2. He's got behind enemy lines and he's still got domination. Right, so for reserves, only 2 of the empty pods came on, and unfortunately the Fire Raptor didn't either. So this drop pod got a direct hit here, and it is just within 3 inches of that objective. We have measured it exactly, and it is just within 12 inches of the board edge, so that would get him that objective and behind enemy lines. The other thing was the other drop pod got a direct hit here, so he's obviously going to trump the Warp Spiders on objective 1 there, which is going to put him back in for domination. So let's have a look at his movement. Alright, so movement phase. The Laspred is pivoted, so I'm guessing the Laspred, this Las Cannon, and that Plasma Gunner is going for the Wraith Knight, I'm guessing. The Lonely Grav Biker is securing objective 4.
5.
I'll get used to the numbers. Yeah, he's probably going to pump his Grav into him as well. 2 Marines that were running last turn regroup and move towards objective number 4. And the Razorback has pushed forward as well. The only other movement that Josh has done is these Marines have jumped out of the Razorback and probably looking to start taking out either the Wraithguard or the Raider. And the Dreadnought is looking probably to start and move across, maybe take some of these guys out. Let's see what he does in the psychic and shooting phase. Right, so welcome back after the shooting and psychic phase. Shooting over this side, all the last cannons, and this last cannon, and the plasma gun, and the grav gun, unloaded everything into the Wraith Knight, and because he's still got Fortune on, re-rolling them saves, kept him alive. He hasn't taken any more wounds at all. The Marines here, and the assault cannon on the Razorback shot through at the Wraith and managed to kill 2 of them. The melter gun from the Dreadnought, despite having chapter tactics and being allowed to reroll 1s, Josh unfortunately rolled 2 1s. These Marines here shot into this Raider as well as the 3 drop pods here and tried to do some damage, and only 1 glance went through. The Razorback here shot up at the Dark Reapers, got a rend and 2 wounds, passed the cover saves, passed their armor saves for their normal wounds, and failed the cover save for the rend. 2 Marines here and the Librarian shot up at the Razor Wing. He didn't jink, and unfortunately Josh didn't get any hits again, despite chapter tactics allowing him to re-roll. So that's it for the shooting phase. We've just got that 1 assault there to work out. Right, so the combat over in the corner, one of the Marines was cut down and they're stuck in combat. So Josh secures objective 2, he gets D3 for behind enemy lines, and he gets domination. So he's already on 5, that gives him 6, that puts him at 9 plus 2 D3, 9, 13 to my 4?
Something like that.
3? Yeah. Right, let's move on to Eldar, turn 3. Right, so I have drew Strands of Fate. I rolled a 4 and I've elected to go for objective 5. I've got Scour the Skies and I've got Ascendancy. So, reserves, the only thing now not on are the Scourge. So, the Hawks have landed there. I still need to do their grenade pack. The Banshees and the Succubus landed here in the Raider. And the Crimson Hunter came searing on, looking to probably blow up the Laspred if we can. I've done the rest of the movement. The Wraith Guard looking to probably take these out. The Bikers here hopefully can get rid of these 3 Marines, which will get me their objective. The Raider here can hopefully get rid of the Bike to get me their objective. Over this side, the Fire Dragons in the Raider looking to take out the Razorback, and then we've got 2 Marines there that need to go down, and obviously there'll be 5 Devastators coming out of there as well. The Spiders, I've elected to leave them where they are, as I was going to try and take out this pod here. So, we'll do that grenade pack and then move on to Psychic. Right, so in the Psychic phase, the Farseer cast Guide on these Bikers, and the Bikers managed to mow down the Marines that were here. The Spiders tried to take out the drop pod, and unfortunately I only got 2 glances. Over this side, I tried to blow up the Razorback with the Dragons, and unfortunately I actually only got 2 hits. So unfortunately only 2 hull points went. I was hoping to try and blow it up, and unfortunately it didn't, which means I had to divert the Reapers at it to then get it to blow up. I was hoping to use the Reapers to take out the Marines that got out, but never mind. The disintegrator cannon that was on the front of the Raider took out the Marines that were there. This disintegrator cannon went for the Biker, and unfortunately Josh managed to pass his Jinx saves, and as a result I had to drop all of the poison from there straight in. Obviously, weight of fire, unfortunately Josh simply couldn't hold up that amount of saves. The Venom poured some dice into the Marines in here, as well as shots from the Hawks and the Banshees that are inside of there. Managed to bring that guy down to just a single sergeant left. The crew from in here managed to take out the 2 remaining Marines there. Over here, the Crimson Hunter managed to get 2 pens on the Predator, and then I rolled a double 1, so it's only snap shooting with 1 hull point left. And the Razor Wing dropped the disintegrator cannons and the twinning splinter rifle, and only killed 1 of the Marines there. I also used the grenade pack from the Hawks as well to try and do some extra damage, and I didn't, unfortunately. And then, as expected, the D Scythe Flamers here managed to take out the 5 Marines and only put a single hull point on the Razorback. I think, was it immobilised now?
That Razorback's immobilised, yeah.
Yep, so that's now immobilised. So yeah, that was pretty much it for shooting. I've got an assault jump here I might want to make. This assault to work out, and the Wraith Knight is definitely going to be charging over here. Right, so in the assault phase, as per usual, Binky does absolutely nothing for me, apart from that one there. Only got 2 hits, killed 2 Marines, and whiffed on his stomps entirely. Josh managed to get a wound with a crack grenade, but I passed my armor save, and the Tech Marine hit with the servo arms. Managed to get 2 wounds, and I've passed 1 of my saves, so the Wraith Knight is now down to 2 wounds. So at the end of my turn, I do score objective 5 for Strands of Fate, and I still don't have Ascendancy. I only actually control 2, as those guys are just within 3 inches, and the pod here as well. I've still got Scour the Skies. I don't know whether to keep it or discard it. I'm going to keep it, I think. So let's move on to Space Marine, turn 3. Right, so Space Marine turn 3, Josh has drew Secure Objective 4, Secure Objective 1 and Secure Objective 2. That is 6. There is number 5. That is number 4, which he does have at the minute. If he survives the combat, he'll score that one. Where's 1 and 2? Number 1's over here, which he's got with the drop pod, and number 2 is here, and the other empty drop pod came on and landed right within it. So he doesn't score it yet, but he does contest it. The Fire Raptor's finally made an appearance, and he's going to be looking to take out those Wraithguard there, I reckon. The Dreadnought is going to be charging in to finish them off if he doesn't. So besides this one Marine moving, sorry, that is it for the movement phase. Let's move on to shooting. Alright, so in the shooting phase, the melter gun from this guy here and the immobilized Razorback took out 2 of the bikers, and he failed his morale check, the last one, and ran, but he's still on the board for the moment. As expected, the Avenger Bolt Cannon, Mauler Bolt Cannon, wherever it is, tore through the Wraithbone of the Wraithguard here, and all of the drop pods combined shot into the jet bikers, and like I said, one of them survives. Over this way, the Marines and the Predator shot up at the 2 flyers, causing them to jink, and unfortunately managed to pass all of me jink saves for Josh. The auto cannon on that side shot across at the Crimson Hunter, and although he did get a pen, again I jinked it, and the auto cannon on that side shot down at that Raider, getting a pen, and again managed to jink that away with the Night Shield. So I think that's it for Josh's shooting. We'll now move on to the assaults. Right, so in the assault phase, that guy charged in, and despite the sheer number of shots and attacks I got, he's still alive, which is not where I wanted, because I wanted them to take out the Fire Raptor. In combat over here, Binky again absolutely whiffed, killed 2 Marines. That was it. Tech Marine hit back and unfortunately failed to wound. Meanwhile over here, Farseer got 1 attack, 1 hit, 1 wound, and Josh passed his save again. So that is still tight combat over there. So we'll have a look at Josh's cards and see what he scores. Right, so Josh scores our objective 4. The Tech Marine is with the Devastator Marine on there. The Devastator Marine has objective secured, so Josh scores that. He scores objective 1 with the drop pod still, and objective 2 with the other drop pod because my bikers ran. So that's another 3 points. That's 16 points to my 4. That's unbelievable. Right, so I've still got Scour the Skies, I've got Ascendancy, and Harness the Warp. The Scourge have came on from the table edge, and they're here. They're just within 3 inches of that, so hopefully the Hairwires will be able to get rid of that. I'm dividing my firepower a lot here. The Spiders will hopefully be able to take out this one. Hopefully, if I can kill that last Marine, and possibly the Tech Marine, I'll get that one. The Dragons are pulled sideways here, looking to try and possibly get a bead in on the Fire Raptor. Crimson Hunter is facing this way, hopefully lend support to either take out one of the 2 drop pods, possibly the Fire Raptor for Scour the Skies. I think I'm going to have to go for Ascendancy though to get the points. The Succubus has jumped out the Raider, looking to go and rescue the Hawks. The Raider moved 6, and the Banshees jumped out 6, looking to charge these and get me on this objective, but the problem is we would contest it due to the Predator still being there. So it's going to be risky, but hopefully we should be able to do some damage and get some points. Right, so welcome back at the end of an amazing shooting phase. The Warp Spiders managed to wreck this pod. The Guided Scourge, only 1 hit, and then I had the re-roll. All 4 hit, and I rolled 3 glances and a pen on this drop pod. So that is gone. Over here, the Fire Dragons were shooting up at the Fire Raptor. Fire Raptors don't have ceramite plating like Storm Ravens. Josh knew it and he took the risk not to jink. I got 2 hits, 2 pens, and the Fire Dragons blew it out of the sky. That was fantastic. The blaster here that was in the Venom took a pot shot. You could just see the Dreadnought, but unfortunately missed. The only other thing that I did is I've got a lot of poison that can go for them Marines there. I elected not to. I shot a disintegrator cannon at them from one of the Raiders and killed 2 of them. They have passed the morale check, so the Banshees will be charging them to hopefully get onto that objective. And the Dark Reapers, with only 4 shots, managed to get 2 pens on the Predator, and unfortunately Josh failed one of the cover saves and it was down on 1 hull point thanks to the Crimson Hunter. So we've got the assaults to do. The Banshees are going to be charging there. We've got the Wraith Knight over here, and we've got this ever ongoing assault here as well. Other thing is the Succubus is going to charge in there and rescue them damned Hawks.
So you say.
Hopefully. Wow, what a turn of a comeback. The Banshees charged in. Luckily, only got 3 wounds. Josh did pass one of his 6 upfield, no pains, but the power swords prevailed against the power armor and the Banshees are holding that objective. Over this side, as expected, the Succubus cut down the Lonely Marine and we consolidated out. Over here, Binky whiffed almost again. He got 1 attack, even 1 hit, even with Mastercrafted. Killed the Lonely Marine. Got 2 stomps at the same time as the Tech Marine was swinging back with his servo arms. He got a single wound against the Wraith Knight, failed his saves and left him on 1 wound just as his foot came crashing down, rolling a 6 on top of the Tech Marine. So the Wraith Knight does hold their objective, and over here, this 1 Lonely Marine is still battling with the 3 jet bikes circling him. So let's have a look at the points and add them up. Right, so I get Scour the Skies, I get D3 for Ascendancy, and I get 1 for Harness the Warp. I could only actually cast 2 powers because Psychic Shriek being a Witchfire and I'm stuck in combat. So that puts me, I had 4 points, that's 5, that's 6, plus D3, that's 8. So I'm at 8 to Josh's
16.
Yeah. Right, let's go on to Space Marine, turn 4. Alright, so Space Marine turn 4. Josh has drew Secure 5, Secure 3, and on your chapter, which is, was it kill an enemy character in a challenge?
Yep.
Let's have a look. Alright, so he's objective 5. Yeah, don't think he's going to be able to make it there.
I think.
Objective 3 is over here, which the red drop pod does hold. Movement phase, the Librarian Dreadnought. Yeah, Ironclad.
Yep.
Dreadnought is going forward, looking to probably take out the Reapers and the Scourge. And the Librarian got a 4-inch move through a cover, and in the sight phase he's got Precognition and Force. I did try and stop it and even re-rolled with Runes of the Farseer, but unfortunately I didn't stop it enough, and he's probably going to try and take a Wraith Knight out on a lucky whim. Let's see what happens in the shooting and assault phase. Right, so in the shooting phase, the Heavy Flamer from the Ironclad and the Melter Gun targeted the Dark Reapers, took out 3 of the Scourge, managed to pass a Feel No Pain and a 6-up Invuln, and 1 of the Dark Reapers was brought down, unfortunately. They have passed their morale check though. The Stormbolt is meanwhile over here, and the Assault Cannon from the Razorback. The Stormbolt is from the Rhino, and both drop pods took out 3 of the Banshees. They have passed the morale check though, unfortunately the Exarch was also brought down there. Josh has got some charges to make. I think the Librarian's going to try his luck and potentially take out the Wraith Knight. We shall see. Right, so in the assault phase down here, the Librarian charged in, absolutely raging, and was met by a swift slice of the Ghostglaive sword of the Wraith Knight, and he's wandering off to go and drop pod kicking, I think. Meanwhile, this combat, again, no wounds at all exchanged. So, we'll have a look at Josh's cards. Alright, so he scores objective 3, he can't discard objective 5 and he doesn't score it, and he's going to discard on your chapter. So that puts Josh at 17 to my, what was it? 8. Yeah, so we'll now move on to Eldar, turn 5. Right, so Eldar turn 5, I've drew Kingslayer, I've drew Secure Objective 6, and I've drew Overwhelming Firepower. Let's see if we can get some points. I need to catch up. Alright, so that poison board's going to stay there to secure Objective 5 from Josh's hand for me. The Succubus, for lack of anything to do, is staying there. The Wraith Knight is staying back as well. Over here, the spiders are pulled forward. I need to try and stop Josh's line breaker, really. So I need to kill this pod, that marine, and the pod over here as well, which hopefully the Crimson Hunter might get lucky and take out. The dragons hopefully take out the Librarian Dreadnought, which is going to hamper his manoeuvrability as he's got nothing left that can move. So as long as I can deny him line breaker, I might, and I say might, potentially be able to catch up. Alright, so in the shooting phase, the fire dragons managed to blow up the Dreadnought. The Scourge here managed to do 2 hull points on this drop pod. I then shot the Dark Reapers at it, trying to take it out, and unfortunately didn't do any damage. As a result, the spiders had to take it out. Over this side, the Crimson Hunter managed to blow up this drop pod, and luckily here I managed to get a single glance with the blaster that is immobilized, from the blaster in the immobilized venom, taking that out. In combat, down here, tied combat yet again. Right, so I score Objective 6, I get Kingslayer and I rolled a 3, so that's 2 points for that. And Overwhelming Firepower, I destroyed more than 3 units in the shooting phase, and unfortunately I only rolled a 1. I do steal Objective 5 out of Josh's hand. That gives me a total of 2, 3, 5 points that turn, put me at 13. Right, so let's go on to Space Marine, turn 5. Right, so Josh has drew Psychological Warfare, Blood and Guts, and Big Game Hunter. Big Game Hunter is probably not going to be able to get, but he can get these two with that single Marine if he's lucky. It's going to be tough. If I can take him out, I might be able to deny him Line Breaker as well, but it's going to have to be in his assault phase. Let's see what happens. Right, so in combat's down here, tied combat yet again. Josh didn't score any points, and we just rolled to see if the game continues, and it doesn't. So Josh wins the game. The final score was 14 to 18 to Josh. Obviously getting Line Breaker here was the big thing for Josh, and me not having such good rolls on Overwhelming Firepower and Kingslayer, and I think not getting Supremacy early on made a big difference. I've enjoyed using the Aspect Warriors. I think the Banshees and the Hawks are very underrated, and hopefully we'll see more of them soon. I hope you've enjoyed the game as much as me and Josh have, and hopefully we'll see the Space Marines and the Eldar clash again at some point soon. Thanks very much.